Hi and welcome. This tutorial is to show you how the listing loader feed for Boat Deck is best utilised for Boatpoint and boat sales. There are a few little nuances with the system for Boatpoint that need to be considered when you're managing your Boat Deck listings. So I just want to take you through that process just to make sure that when you do use a listing loader system, your listings are going to feed through successfully the first time. So once you've logged into your administration console for your vessels, simply click on any of the listings. This is of course once you've had listing loader set up, and please contact us if you would like us to do that. I have another tutorial as well that has a bit of an overview about listing loader as a product, but this tutorial is more specifically around the feed going to Boatpoint from listing loader. So just click on a boat that you'd like to send to Boatpoint, and it will open up your details here for the vessel. This is a deep V vessel as an example, and what I like to do is open another window in your browser so you've got a link to Boatpoint, and just type in deep V, or obviously whichever particular boat it is, find the boat within their system. And the reason we do this is because Boatpoint uses what's called fuzzy logic matching for their model ranges. So they hard code their model ranges, but when a feed comes in, they match that feed to their hard-coded models using fuzzy logic. It's a bit complicated, but the best way to get around this is to just look at the models that they've got available and make sure that whatever you type into the Boat Deck system is identical to the model structure that they have in their system, and then you won't have any problems. So for example here, we've got a 260, but it's a fly, it says 260 flybridge. So we just need to make sure, just to be absolutely certain that this is going to feed through perfectly, to put 260 flybridge in the model area. All these other options are pretty straightforward. It will take, at the moment, Boatpoint will take the first 255 characters that you key into the system. Not words, but characters, I believe, but I think that will be changing shortly. Then the other kind of parameter that is good to leave it as a pretty generic one is motor and powerboat. So if it's powerboats, leave it motor and powerboats. If it's sailboat, choose yacht and sailboat, rather than getting too specific about the usage type. Condition, of course, needs to be filled out, as do all these other fields. Something I notice people do quite often is inadvertently select engine and motor as the power type. It should in fact be power if it's a powerboat. All these other fields are to be filled in, including year, very important. And when you get down to this section here, these fields of the engines have been deep mapped to Boatpoint. So you just need to make sure that for engine hours and horsepower and so on, fuel capacity is another good example, that they only contain numerics. So no HP after the horsepower and no L's after the litre capacity or anything like that, just pure numbers. Otherwise the feed will fail. So just make sure you keep it nice and clean. Same thing goes for, you obviously have to put the length in there, of course. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. This gets a lot of people. The search price and the display price need to be the same price. If you're doing POA or price on application, you need to make the search price field a 0, and the POA text could be just capital POA in that section. If it's not a POA vessel, then please make sure you put the same number here. Boatpoint actually takes the search price and uses it as their display price, so you don't want to get caught putting a lower price in than you really want to be. So once you've done all that, just make sure you save the listing, and then in the feature tab there are a lot of deep mapped fields here that we have for Boatpoint. These are all scheduled to feed to Boatpoint, as you can see. But again, just be really careful with things like the dry weight. Don't put the letters KGS after it, or even a comma in the between the tens of thousands or anything. Just pure numbers in this area, as well as anything to do with feet and meters, just numbers only. No text at all. And same thing with this water capacity. Don't put an L after it or the word litres. So it's pretty easy to use. It's just a matter of making sure you're aware that they can't take text fields in a lot of these fields that are supposed to have numbers. So it will feed to other sites like Yacht and Boat, but if you're wanting to use Boatpoint, you need to keep it very, very clear and very, very simple in terms of numbers. But if you do all that, you should be fine. You'll get a batch report every time the feed goes through. The feed goes through 4 times a day. And if there are any errors, it'll come up on the batch feed, so you need to make sure you check those. But that's it.